Hello, everyone. I've been reading your questions, and rather than doing a coaching call, which some people may or may not be able to get on, I figured, hey, why not just make a video for you? That way you can watch it whenever is convenient for you. And I wrote down your questions, and I'm hopefully going to be able to answer all of them. And so I'm just going to go through these one by one and hopefully help you to get some answers and uncover some of the things that you're going through. This first question says, what's the best way to plan meals and percentages? And I'm guessing that person means percentages of your macros. First and foremost, you don't have to be completely exact when it comes to your macro percentages. I mean, yes, you want to get as close as possible, but it's not an exact science. There are some people that go absolutely crazy. Let's say their body tested they need 35% of their calories from protein, 35% from carbohydrates, and 30% from fat. There are some people that totally flip out if they're at 29% of fat and 36% of carbohydrates. They go, no, it has to be exact. No, it doesn't, you guys. Just get as close as possible. I don't know that you're ever going to be exactly on those percentages, for a long period of time. Don't stress too much. As long as, for the most part, you are reaching your caloric needs, staying within your daily caloric allowance, and for the most part, getting your macros as close as possible, you should be just fine. Now, having said that, oh, did I just cut out? Okay, sorry. Now, having said that, there are some interesting hacks, I guess, if you will, if you want to get a better grasp on your percentages and as you're planning your meals. First and foremost, what do you enjoy the most? One of the biggest differences between those that have a lot of success with a transformation program and those that don't is those that have the success find things that they really, really enjoy and things that they can stick with. Remember, if you're trying to do things that are drastically out of the norm that you don't enjoy doing, you're not going to stick with it. And so some people will say, well, Eric, is it better for me to do intermittent fasting like you do and have 2 meals a day, or is it better for me to have 5 meals a day? And the answer is, again, what do you enjoy the most? What more closely matches your current lifestyle? The biggest difference, again, between those that have kind of temporary success and those that actually experience permanent results are those that find a new lifestyle that they can stick with and absolutely enjoy. Enjoy is a big thing for me. I've got to enjoy doing what I'm doing. If you don't enjoy it, then you're not going to stick with it. And that's one of the reasons why so many people fail when it comes to diet and exercise, when it comes to reducing their weight. They believe it's got to be this process of, deprivation and starvation and who wants to do that, right? And so as you're planning your meals, find things that you really, really enjoy. And yeah, it's okay. It's not about eating 100% clean whole foods all the time. I mean, yes, that's the absolute ideal, right? But unfortunately, most of us aren't ready to just go from the standard American diet and jump into, hardcore raw vegan all the time. Not that there's anything wrong with that by any means, but unfortunately that for most of us, that's too big of a leap all at once. I mean, if eventually you gradually want to work yourself up to a raw vegan lifestyle, then fantastic, more power to you. If you currently do raw vegan, wonderful, do whatever works best for you. As you're planning your meal, something that I found was utilizing the MyFitnessPal app and planning a week or two of meals at a time, because does this sound familiar? You're trying to reduce your weight and you haven't planned anything for dinner, and suddenly you realize, oh shoot, it's 7:00 p.m. and I'm hungry. I'm super starving right now. Okay, let's just go get a burger and some fries because it's fast and it's easy. If you plan ahead, and if you take some time, maybe you spend an hour on Saturdays or whenever, and you plan out a number of meals that you really, really enjoy, what you can do is you can, on the MyFitnessPal app, you can actually plan a number of days in advance. And you just put in the different things that you want to eat for your meals. And then at the bottom, you can scroll down and you can see how many calories you're at and the percentage of your macronutrients from there. And after you've put in your first meal, then you can adjust from there. Or let's say you put in everything that you want to eat for that day. You scroll down and you go, oh, I'm a little too high on carbs today, or I'm a little too low on protein, or I'm 200 calories over my caloric need for the day. Again, you can adjust from there. I found that when I plan ahead, again, usually a week or two in advance, it takes all the guesswork out of it for me. And this way I'm able to stick with what I've already planned out. I just, pull up the app, and the next day, oh, okay, today I'm eating brined chicken with sweet potatoes and broccoli, whatever it is. Now, you want to do that for the first couple of weeks. For the first couple of weeks, I know it's not fun to track everything, but it's so important as you're getting started because this allows you to get into a groove. Now, after the first few weeks, then you can start eyeballing things. Then I have no problem if you stop tracking things. Unless your weight begins to go up, then it's really, really important to track things. But for at least the first week or two, make sure you're putting everything that you put in your mouth, track it in that app. And again, spend some time on a Saturday or on whenever and just plan out your meals for the next couple of weeks. And I hope that helps. Let's see. How do you know if you need a refeed day? I love this question. Refeed days they serve a couple of purposes. Number one is you want to be constantly tricking your metabolism. A lot of times people get kind of in a rut or they hit a plateau because they will restrict their calories for a really long period of time. And so the body is really, really good at adapting. And eventually it'll lower your metabolism to get used to this lower level of caloric intake. And you don't want that because suddenly your body is burning a lot less fat while still taking in that lower level of calories. And so what the refeed day does is it just helps to reset your metabolism. Also, it helps you to again, never feel deprived. On your refeed day, you have those extra 600 or so calories that you consume primarily from carbs and fat. And so what better way to get extra carbs and fat in than to have a really great dessert that you really, really enjoy, right? It's a way to help you to never feel deprived. My refeed days generally are on Sundays, and if you know me, you know that I am such a huge foodie. I love cooking. I love eating. I love planning food. I love food. And so I look forward to Sundays because I get to plan this really, really nice dinner, this really nice dessert, and it allows me to say, okay, I can get through the next few days because on Sunday I have my refeed meal. I can have my big piece of cake and my ice cream. I can have whatever it is that I'm wanting to. And so now, how do you know if you need a refeed day? There are a couple of things. Number one, I like to have a refeed day at the place that I'm in, usually every week, maybe 2 weeks. Every so often, I'll go a couple of weeks without a refeed day just to, again, speed up the process a little bit. But about every week, my body starts craving some ice cream and things of that nature. And again, I don't believe in depriving myself. I want to be able to have everything that I love because then we create a lifestyle that we can stick with and that we absolutely enjoy. And so, again, I like to do it about every week, or two. If you've gone more than about 2 to 3 weeks and you're just rocking the house down and things are progressing, then you don't necessarily need one until you've hit a plateau. Or one of two things. If you hit a plateau, then your body may need a refeed day just to kind of reset itself. I don't really recommend going more than a day or two of refeeding, but every so often that can happen. I remember I hit a plateau a number of months ago, and I was like there for like 3 or 4 days, and I'm going, what's going on? Like, I'm hitting all my macros, doing all my exercises, doing the emotional, the mental work and everything. What's going on? And so I wrote my body a letter, and my body said, yeah, we need a refeed day. And so I went to one of my favorite buffet restaurants, and I just went to town. And the next day I allowed myself to just spend some extra time in the gym, and 2 days later plateau was broken. And so again, those refeed days are for you to reset your metabolism, make sure that your metabolism stays high, and to kind of reboot the process, if that makes sense. And also, it's to make sure that you never feel deprived. And so, at least for me personally, I can go a few days if I'm craving some, chocolate cake, I'm craving some ice cream, I'm craving a really nice steak dinner or whatever it is. I can go a few days if I know that come Sunday, I can indulge in that craving. And so that's how you know to have a refeed day. I hope that helps. Let's see. How do you eat sweets and still release weight consistently? I love this question. And it's quite simple. Number one, you allow yourself to have those refeed days every week or two. And yeah, you have those extra 600 calories. You can have a pretty nice dessert with those extra 600 calories. And number two, you simply fit things in. You simply fit things in. As I mentioned, releasing weight isn't all about just eating clean 100% of the time, because who can stick to that? I mean, I guess there are some people that are amazing and they can stick to 100% clean eating all the time. I'm not there yet. I don't know about you, but and so it just has to do with fitting things in. If your body if your daily caloric allowance is 1,800 calories, for example, and you finished your dinner and you're only at 1,500 calories, yeah, eat a couple of cookies. Who cares? As long as you're within your daily caloric allowance, fit in those things that you enjoy. I mean, obviously, don't go overboard, but as long as you fit it in, eat the things that you enjoy, because that way you can stick with it. I hope that helps. What if you are in an upward trend? Stop it. Okay, next question. I'm kidding, of course. If you're in an upward trend, a number of things could be happening. Number one, are you sticking to your caloric and exercise needs? Are you getting everything that you know? Are you sticking to your plan? Sometimes, if you're not tracking your calories, especially at the very beginning, and every so often you graze a little bit, well, I just had this little handful of chips, or well, I just had this little bite of chocolate, and people don't think to track those. Well, those can add up, and pretty soon you're consuming an extra 500, 600, 700 calories, and without even realizing it. And so, especially at the beginning, you've got to track absolutely everything you put in your mouth, because that can contribute to your weight going up without you even realizing it. Now, if you are getting everything that you're supposed to do, getting everything in calorically, you're getting all your exercises in, you're hitting your macronutrients, from there it's probably a mental or emotional thing. Remember, some of my biggest plateaus or biggest weight fluctuations have happened when I was uncovering some sort of major emotion that I had covered up with fat. I mentioned just a day or two ago that I was doing my workout, and suddenly I just felt really just depressed and rejected. And I'm going, where is this coming from? Like, I don't have any reason to feel that way. I mean, things are going pretty dang good. And I suddenly thought back, like, okay, what happened the last time I was this weight and under? And I went, oh, the last time I was this weight, I was selling alarm systems door to door in Tennessee. And yes, I was doing well, but I faced rejection multiple times every single day, and they were long hours. I mean, I would go out early afternoon or sometimes early morning, and I would come back late at night and on my feet all day long in the hot summer sun. And so a lot of times as you are releasing weight, you're going to uncover some negative emotions that in the past you have used food or other things to numb or cover up. And so if you're going upward, up and up and up, it could be your body just saying, hey, we're really scared about feeling this negative emotion again. And so we're trying to cover it up as much as possible. And so if that happens, just kind of check with intuition and see if that's happening. One of the greatest tools that you can use is that letter to your body. Write a letter to your body, see what's going on. You may be shocked as to what's happening. I've used that tool every single time I've hit a plateau. Literally every time, next day the plateau is broken. Also, those of you in the Fall in Love with Yourself program, remember, I believe it's week 1, module 3, one of the very first ones, you actually can muscle test yourself. We teach you the entire protocol that you can use on yourself for the metabolism weight reduction assessment. Remember that after every 2-3 weeks, you want to retest yourself because things shift. The results that you got during your very first assessment with me may not apply for you anymore after a few weeks because you are progressing. For example, my body didn't want any type of resistance training for the first month or two. When I first tested myself, I tested that my body only wanted cardio. After a couple of months of doing just cardio, I retested myself and my body said, yes, add in 30 minutes of resistance training 3 times a week. And so I did. And then about a month or two later, I was able to actually start doing weights. And so remember, things shift constantly. And so every 2-3 weeks minimum, you want to be testing yourself, utilizing the skills that you learned in week 1 of the Fall in Love with Yourself program. And so I hope that helps. Let's see. The next one is how to overcome an unhealthy craving. If you're consistently drinking the green smoothies every single day, if you're drinking a full pitcher of green smoothie, and I know it's a lot, it's literally half a gallon of green smoothie if you're getting it in consistently, if you're making it properly. That in and of itself usually will help to obliterate unhealthy cravings because you're flooding your body with so much good stuff that your body goes, oh my gosh, we've got so much good stuff here. In most cases, it will obliterate those unhealthy cravings. Now, if you're getting the green smoothie in every single day and those cravings persist for more than a week or two, there are 2 additional things that you can do. The first one is the supplement called Skinny Mist. I believe I spoke about it in another video. I definitely talk about it in one of the modules in the Fall in Love with Yourself program in week 1. What is it? Module 6, one of those. The Skinny Mist is a product created by a company in Orem, Utah called Live International, L-I-V International. And it's spelled S-X-I-N-N-E-Y, Skinny Mist. And it's something that you just spray on your tongue. And for about 30 minutes after you spray it on your tongue, you actually can't taste any type of refined sugar. We call it willpower in a bottle because it's this really powerful mint flavor and it has all these really cool adaptogenic herbs in it that literally mask the flavor of refined sugar. For most people, the cravings have to do with an imbalance in their hormones or just some sort of, mental craving for sugar. And so when you spray this on your tongue, it's going to be for about that 30 minutes. If you tried to eat something unhealthy, something with refined sugar, some chocolate or, candy or something, it'll literally taste like garbage. And so it's gross. We did it to our daughter not long ago. She wanted to try it out and she was having these cookies and she goes, I've never tried Skinny Mist. Can I try it? And we said, you sure you want to? And she goes, yeah. And so she sprayed it on her tongue and she tried to eat the cookie. She goes, blah, 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 she spit it right out. And so if you're just having this really, really intense sugar craving, then spray the Skinny Mist on your tongue because, again, for about 30 minutes, you won't be able to taste it, and the adaptogenic herbs in it will help to balance your hormones. It'll actually help to relax you and balance your mood a little bit better, and so that can help you to reduce your sugar cravings as well. Now, if there's some type of, we call it a guilty pleasure, which is like that one food that it's like, boy, if I could just give up that one food, boy, I would drop weight like crazy, right? remember, in the Fall in Love with Yourself program, it's one of the modules in weeks 2, 3, which of course are combined. It's an NLP technique called like to dislike. We walk you through it in the module, and we take you through the process. It literally can retrain your brain in about 2 to 3 minutes to actually link specific unhealthy foods with high levels of disgust. And so literally you take something that you really like but is a temptation for you that you no longer want to like, and so you actually have to want to dislike whatever it is. I share the story of a gal named Nicole that came to one of our events. For her, it was sugar cookies with cream cheese frosting. She said, darn it, if I could just give up these cookies, man, I would drop weight like crazy. And we said, are you sure you want that? And she said, yeah. And so I believe it was Irina, who is a master NLP practitioner. She's so talented. She was with her on stage, and she did the like to dislike tool with her. And literally in about 3 minutes, she helped her retrain her brain to no longer like those cookies with cream cheese frosting. And someone from my event team actually brought some a day or two later, and I didn't tell her he was going to do this, but he just, on a break, he went up to her and said, hey, would you like a cookie? And she almost vomited. She's like, get those away from me. Absolutely not. And so again, if you're in the Fall in Love with Yourself program and there's something that's just really tough for you to get rid of, it's like, darn it, I keep having these brownies, then utilize that tool in that program to just obliterate that as a temptation. If you no longer like it, it's not going to be a temptation. And so again, 3 different things. The green smoothies ought to help you to curb and eliminate those sugar cravings. If you have, let's say you go to a party or a wedding or something and they're serving, some sort of sweets, and you're like, oh, okay, I don't want to even be tempted. Get the Skinny Mist. You can just go to Live International, livinternational.com. I'll probably post a link to the product. And get some Skinny Mist and just carry it around with you. If you know that you're going to be tempted, then spray the Skinny Mist. That way, again, it just eliminates the craving and your temptation's gone. And finally, number 3, if you utilize that module in the Fall in Love with Yourself program and just get rid of that, allow yourself to no longer like it. That's okay. I mean, you're going to live without that brownie, without that cake, whatever it is. Just retrain your brain so that it's no longer even a temptation. So I hope that helps. And this final one, hopefully I wrote all of these down, and maybe I missed some. I apologize if I have. Exercise tips outside of the gym. Walking, of course, is a fantastic way to get an exercise. You'd be surprised how many extra steps you can get in. You can find ways to get walking. I really love Mr. Universe's ultimate fat loss workout. It's a 30-minute workout, and during those 30 minutes, it takes you all the way through stretching, warm up, and it's a combination of cardio and resistance training. It utilizes resistance bands, and it's phenomenal. That's actually what I used for my resistance training right after my body started saying, yes, you can start incorporating this. And again, we've included that workout in the Fall in Love with Yourself program as one of the modules, and so highly recommend that. It's a phenomenal program, phenomenal workout, and it's something, again, you can do anywhere. When I travel, and I usually try to stay in a hotel that has a really good fitness center now that's open 24 hours, so I can get my night owl on and go do my workout at night. But every so often, I'll be in a hotel that doesn't have a fitness center. I won't have access to a fitness center. And so what I started doing was just packing resistance bands in my suitcase. And because I can pull it up on my phone, I can literally get a really good workout in just in my hotel room. And so I hope that helps. If you have any other questions, please feel free to comment below. We can always do another video for these. If this has been helpful for you, please comment below and let us know. And again, please help us to know how we can best serve you. Again, congratulations to all of you that are making progress. You guys are doing wonderfully. I love you guys. Thank you all so much. Take care.